This video is created entirely by AI, with no editing or intervention from me. It's raw, unfiltered, and presented as the AI envisioned it. I'd love your feedback. Do you think it's good as it is? Or could it inspire you to take parts of it and create something even better? Let me know your thoughts, and feel free to share your own creative interpretations.
In ancient Mesopotamia, the great city of Uruk stood as a beacon of civilization. Its king, Gilgamesh, was unmatched in strength, beauty, and ambition. Born 2/3 divine and 1/3 mortal, he was a figure of legend, but his heart was restless, and his pride knew no bounds. Under his rule, the people of Uruk toiled and suffered, burdened by their king's arrogance. They prayed to the gods for relief, and the gods answered. To temper Gilgamesh's pride, they created Enkidu, a wild man, his equal in strength and courage, sent to challenge the king. Enkidu roamed the steppe, living among the animals and drinking from the rivers. He was a protector of the wild, untouched by civilization. One day, a trapper encountered Enkidu by the river. Frightened by the wild man who disrupted the hunt, the trapper sought the help of the goddess Ishtar. Ishtar sent a sacred priestess to Enkidu. Through her, he learned the ways of men, speech, customs, and the bonds of civilization. As he grew closer to humanity, the animals abandoned him, and Enkidu felt the stirrings of a greater destiny. Drawn by fate, he left the wilderness and journeyed to Uruk, where he met Gilgamesh. Their first encounter shook the city. They wrestled as equals, neither willing to yield. Exhausted, they embraced in mutual respect, forging a bond of friendship.
As their friendship grew, Gilgamesh and Enkidu sought to make their names immortal. "Let us journey to the cedar forest," Gilgamesh declared, "and defeat Humbaba, the fearsome guardian of its sacred trees. We will leave behind a legacy that will echo through the ages." The two heroes set out on their perilous quest, guided by their shared strength and courage. The cedar forest was vast and ominous, its shadows alive with ancient power.
Humbaba, appointed by the god Enlil, roared with fury at the intruders.
"Do not fear, my friend. Together we are stronger."
But in killing Humbaba, they angered the gods who had decreed the forest sacred. Back in Uruk, their triumph attracted the attention of Ishtar, goddess of love and war. Enamored by Gilgamesh's beauty and strength, she offered herself to him. But Gilgamesh, knowing her history of betrayal, mocked her advances. Humiliated and enraged, Ishtar ascended to the heavens and demanded vengeance from her father Anu.
"Send the Bull of Heaven to punish Gilgamesh and his city!" she cried. Anu granted her request, and the Bull of Heaven descended upon Uruk, bringing chaos and destruction. It trampled the fields and slew countless men. But Gilgamesh and Enkidu stood together once more, fighting side by side. They slew the bull, saving their city.
Their victory was short-lived, for the gods demanded retribution for their defiance. The gods decreed that Enkidu, the wild man who had left the wilderness, must die. Stricken by illness, he lay feverish and weak. In his final moments, Enkidu cursed his fate. He mourned the life he had left behind and the bond he had shared with Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh wept bitterly at his friend's side, unable to save him. Overcome with grief, he vowed to defy the gods and find the secret of eternal life. He traveled across desolate mountains, through dark forests, and over raging seas, braving countless dangers. At last, he reached Utnapishtim, the immortal man who had survived the Great Flood. "How can I achieve eternal life?" Gilgamesh pleaded. Utnapishtim shook his head. "Immortality is not for mortals, Gilgamesh. Life is fleeting, as are all things." Utnapishtim revealed the story of the flood and the gods' decision to grant him and his wife eternal life. Out of pity, he told Gilgamesh of a plant that could restore youth. Gilgamesh found the plant that could restore youth. Gilgamesh found the plant, but as he rested by a river, a serpent stole it away. Heartbroken, he watched the serpent slither into the water, leaving him with nothing but the weight of his mortality. Gilgamesh returned to Uruk. Standing atop its towering walls, he gazed at the city he had built and the people who lived within it. He realized that true immortality lay not in living forever, but in the deeds and legacies we leave behind. In his despair, he found wisdom. Thus ends the tale of Gilgamesh, a story of friendship, loss, and the search for meaning in the face of mortality, the Epic of Gilgamesh.